YouTube is a site that has many interesting series behind it, ones with deep hidden lore behind them, connecting everything they've done into a giant overarching story. Some do it through comedy like Filthy Frank, while others do it through surrealism like Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
Oh boy, I want to see what they're all about.
Hold your horses there, friendo. Before you go off looking at all those Filthy Frank and Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared theories and complications, be aware that there is a new contestant in the overarching lore that YouTubers have. The new challenger in question is a YouTuber by the name of Zuthar13. Zuthar13 made his popularity on YouTube through Gary's Mod trolling in his Star Wars role-playing series Purple Team. The YouTuber has had a constant increase after his first big break, with a constant upload of Gary's Mod trolling and short films. But you may be asking, how does hidden lore come into Gary's Mod trolling? Well, the majority of his lore come through short films, with some of his trolling videos being used as background story to some of the characters and locations. Now, as someone who's always been intrigued by connections occurring through series and movies, I decided to dig deeper and began to pester Zuthar13 for the answers that I so desired, to which he ignored. After it failed with my pestering, I decided instead to watch all of his videos and have come up with what I believe to be the most likely lore of his cinematic universe, which is just a timeline and an explanation of said timeline. Disclaimer, these are all my personal ideas and beliefs behind the lore and is all speculation. None of this has, or most likely will ever, be confirmed by Zuthar13 himself. Now, before a timeline can be made, it should be discussed the layout of the universe, or universes I should say. Well, that's right, this is one of those multi-universe theories. 2 universes to be exact. I call them the main world, which consists of most of the somewhat logical and understandable moments, and the cancer world, the one that makes little to no sense and follows the stereotypes of his own community and the Gary's Mod roleplay community. The Gary's Mod game modes that I believe to take place in the main world is SCP-RP, Alien RP, and Star Wars RP, while the cancer world consists of Hogwarts RP, Medieval RP, Halo RP, Wild West RP, and of course, the Zuthar13 game modes. You're probably questioning why I didn't include Dark RP, and that's because both universes have their own Dark RP overlay, with every other game mode taking place in a different area or time zone of the universe. The main differences between each universe, however, is mainly the people in it. As stated before, the Cancer World is the universe that consists of the Gary's Mod and Zuthar community stereotypes, which is loud, annoying, and, well, cancerous. The main world, on the other hand, is a much more serious role-playing environment compared to that of the cancerous, which still consists of very unlikely events, but is a much more bearable environment. Now the question stands of how do these universes connect? Well, all of this is actually explained by Zuthar himself in Dimensions RP, the first large-scale full Gary's Mod short film by the man himself. The short film explains that small cubes, or aliens, have the ability to transport people over different universes and time periods, explaining how it is possible for both Wild West RP and Halo RP to exist in what seems to be the same time. Warning, there is spoilers for nearly every Zuthar short film, so if you haven't watched them, hop over to his channel and check them out. His link will be in the description and they're all good and funny little videos. You all good now? Then let's get this timeline going. The timeline I'm about to explain I call the suit timeline, as is what I believe to be the most likely order of what occurred. The timeline begins with Zuthar's most recent short film, Tale of Idiots. This kicks off our timeline by being the furthest in the past and by introducing the Dark Mage, who later gets trapped in the Dark RP overlay of the Cancer World by what I believe is to be the first use of the cube's power that is shown through his short films. Him being trapped causes him to gain a liking for the desk as a weapon in taking over a section of the Cancer World's Dark RP overlay. The second on the list is Wild West RP, the second furthest back in the timeline, which shows the origins of Cold Clint, who appears in the previously mentioned Tale of Idiots, by being transported by the cubes. Nothing else has a large significance as it is a trolling video and not a short film, however, it explains where Cold Clint came from. The next step is probably the most important one on the timeline, Dimensions RP, which was Zuthar's first large short film. The short film introduces the cubes officially and shows their powers by transporting Zuthar through multiple different locations and time periods between both the main world and the Cancer World, and I believe it is most likely to be an abduction that fails as he returns to his home in the end. The next step in the timeline is Cube RP, a short film that was explaining a secret lore while also parodying the movie Cube. Cube RP tells of others who most likely were abducted during the time of Dimensions RP, but unlike Zuthar, failed to escape, causing them to be in a purgatory type between both the main and Cancer world, as Cube RP shares similarities from both universes. The cubes most likely use Cube RP as a way to test humans and find out how they act for future invasions. And use that information they did, as the next step in the timeline is the first full-scale invasion taking place in both the Cancer and main worlds, with the Two Arms taking place in the main world, while New Year's RP takes place in the Cancer world. Both attacks failed due to Two Arms in the main world, and due to a Zuthar copycat in the Cancer world. After the failed invasion, however, Breakpoint is filmed, the first full film made by Zuthar after he escaped the cubes in Dimension RP. However, he changed his name before making the film in an attempt to escape them from further abduction. The film is used as a way to try and secure money for later films to expose the cubes to the world. However, the filming has proven difficult due to little funding and public approval. The film does help him receive the funding, however, he needed. During the filming of Breakpoint in the main world, the Dark Mage, the one from Tale of Idiots, has just arrived in the Dark RP overlay of the Cancer world, and has just conquered the entirety of the world. This causes him to become power hungry, and he tries to use the cube to go to other universes to conquer them, leading to our next step in the timeline. Axis of Evil is the story of the Dark Mage conquering the main world. When he arrives, he is reborn as a child and builds up a reputation, later recruiting 4 out of his 5 champions promised to him in A Tale of Idiots. He titles himself Desk God in the end, referring to his weapon of choice that he used in both the conquering of the main and Cancer worlds, the desk. During the conquering of the main world, however, Zuthar is finally able to get the rights to the Two Arms story and release it as a movie in an attempt to expose the cubes to the people. The attempt fails, however, as the movie is released, but it allows for the Dark Mage, now Dusk God, to figure out where the cube's leader is and to free him, which is shown in the end of Two Arms from the prison, where left behind is only a desk. Now, through Desk God's conquering of the main world, he begins to gather a bit of a following. This causes a fan group to make their own copy of the Axis of Evil team in an attempt to join Desk God's campaign. This fails, however, as Axis of Evil 2 is never seen from again. Purple Team has at this point little involvement in the lore, but Zuthar has hinted to Purple Team making an appearance in the upcoming Two Arms 2. For now, all we can do is wait and see what occurs then. So, not only does this Garry's Mod YouTuber make trolling and short film videos, but he has also made a very large lore behind himself as well, and I'm very eager to see what happens in the future, and to whether my lore is right or wrong. This has been Soot on the hidden lore of Zuthar13.